evening, everybody. Welcome to the Plainville Town Council meeting. Tonight is Monday, October 2nd, 2023. It's 7 p.m. If you'll please stand for the pledge, I'll ask Councilman Wazorko to lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We do not have any presentations tonight, but we do have a public hearing, and I will ask the town clerk to please read the notice of the public hearing.
Thank you. Notice is hereby given that in accordance with Section 7-255 of the Connecticut General Statutes, the Plainville Town Council, acting as the Water Pollution Control Authority, will hold a public hearing at 7 p.m. on Monday, October 2nd, 2023, in the council chambers in the Municipal Center, 1 Central Square, to consider the following. Sewer user rate for the period November 1st, 2023 to October 31st, 2024. Copies of proposed rates are available at the office of the town clerk during regular business hours, dated at Plainville, Connecticut, this 28th day of September 2023.
Thank you for that. Michael, could you just give us a little overview of what the rate currently is, where it will be once we do this, and we all got backup information. I don't know if any councilors have any questions regarding that, but if you could, for the public, give us an overview of what we're going to be considering.
Yes, of course. Thank you. So last year, or I'd say the current rate, we have a description and extra handouts here if anyone in the public's interested, but the current rate for standard charge is $58.06. The minimum charge is $415.92. Well users is $515.68, and effluent discharge per 1,000 gallons is $166.38. The proposed increase of 2% across the board for those different rates equates, if you're looking at the minimum charge of $415, equates to a new rate of $424 and $8, roughly an $8 increase, and $525 on the well users, so a $10 increase in terms of the rate. And I think at the last meeting, it was the chair that asked about just some indication about what's driving the recommendation for the rate increase, and that is that first and foremost that the rate hasn't changed in 3 years, so it's remained flat and unchanged. But the average cost of goods and services has risen significantly. There are 5 accounts that the superintendent has identified as cost centers that are driving it. This operating supplies is one, repair and maintenance of equipment, professional development. 4th is other contractual services and vehicle maintenance and repair. In addition, there are always capital projects and ongoing things that happen. As this council knows, back in July, we had the issue with the ultraviolet system that failed. It was no indication that this would happen. It wasn't aging or faulty or anything. It just failed. And that is a critical system failure because that system, the UV system, eliminates the E. coli, and so that's important. It's measured by the state and DEEP, and so they were fortunate enough, the team, to find a workaround, an electrical workaround, because the parts were delayed in getting those. But that was roughly about a $60,000 hit to the operations that obviously unbudgeted, and ongoing plans for improvements. In the past, you've all learned about and heard about the phosphorus treatment and so forth. And so even though the capital may handle that upgrade, which was significant and important, what comes along with it is all of the chemicals and supplies that keep going up year after year. And so I think the superintendent's done a great job in terms of trying to curtail or maintain costs, but without an increase for the last 3 years, it's hard to maintain budget and or funding at level to cover those rising costs. So He was hoping for a larger increase, but recognizes that, we're trying to be reasonable, and I think 2% at the bottom is reasonable.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Michael regarding the material received about the rate increase?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Mike, can you tell me, does that include corporations too, or is this just an increase for residential?
I think it's everybody across the board, every rate,
Okay.
rate user across the board, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And if I'm wrong, I'll correct that, but that's my understanding.
And a follow-up, is the commercial user, are their rates figured at a different rate or a different value than a residential user?
I think, I'm not sure what category they fall into, and it might be, it might not be the minimum charge or the well user charge. Obviously, they're on a commercial type of unit, but I can circle back to you on which category they fall into.
Okay. Any other questions regarding the information that Michael provided for us? Okay. With that, I'll open up the public hearing. If anybody wishes to speak to the public hearing regarding the sewer user fee, please come to the podium and state your name and address. Does anybody wish to speak to the public hearing? John? John? Go ahead, John.
John Kislick, 65 Forestville Avenue. Well, I was glad to see that Chairman Wyndham Puglisi asked what's driving this increase, and the explanation tonight. It satisfies me, so I'm not looking for not having it. It's $8.30 for the standard, thing, which isn't bad. But I have some comments on the system itself. I am a retired plumber. I went to plumbing school, and I worked on several of these plants, Cheshire and Winstead. And I know what's involved with them. These are upgrades. So it's like we said, the upgrades are costing a lot of money. And with Plainville, there's two things that I learned over the years of this increase every year. We tie into the Pequabic River, which is a low-flow river. And from what I understand, we have higher restrictions on dumping into there. So it's all driven by this stuff. And what I have to say, sewage disposal is one of the most important things in a community. We've learned over the years, if you don't have proper sanitation, it can breed every kind of disease known to man. From what we learned in school, civilizations were destroyed because of improper sanitation. So this is a really important thing. I know people don't like it, and an example is I paid $335 last year for my water use to the water company, and the sewer use is $415. So that's probably what gets a lot of people upset. But I'm here. I trust the council. You did what you could with 2%, so that's fine, and we'll have to live with it. Thank you.
Thanks for your comment. Does anybody else wish to speak to the public hearing tonight regarding the sewer user fee?
Donald Tenney, 17 Hillscrest Road. I just wanted to thank the town manager for responding publicly, well, on Plainville Talks, as public as it gets, about the rationale behind the increase. And I think going back to Matthew's demonstration last meeting, that's one of the things that we need to do more often, I think, is give the public the ability, not only, the town clerk's notice came out, but underlying that, maybe give people a link to the rationale behind the increase. It gives people more information. I'm fine with a 2% increase, and I thank you for responding, and that was very helpful. So, thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to speak regarding the public hearing? Anybody else? Probably not. Okay, with that, I'll close the public hearing. Thank you for your comments. Well, moving on to the next item, may I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, September 18th, 2023, regular meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Announcements and reports. Does anybody have any announcement to make?
Oh, Madam Chair?
Yes, Rosemary, I was
did it-
waiting.
I'm sorry, I know, I don't want to let
Your
you down
time.
here. Okay. I did attend the September meeting of the Plainville Housing Authority, and, it was a fairly routine meeting with reports on vacancies, maintenance, upcoming things they'll be doing to assist folks to apply for the Energy Assistance Program, and the financial report.
Do they have vacancies there? I recently saw that
There are a
were
number
none.
of them, yes. The executive director, lists the units that are vacant at every board meeting on the monthly basis.
Okay, that's that's where I'm missing some information, because posting up on a website, I saw that the list had closed and there were no openings. So maybe we're talking about different situations down there.
Right, well, I think they take
have a list.
applications, over a certain time, and then once there's vacancies, usually there's work to be done. I know they talk about that with the different units before
Okay.
they are transferred to another renter.
Okay.
But I can find out more
Well,
detail about
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what the difference is between when there's nothing, the list closes, but if there's still vacancy, that means the list should still be taking
Yeah.
people in. But perhaps I'm looking at that in a different way. I shouldn't.
Yeah, and I'll ask for more clarification. I can
Great.
report at the next meeting.
Okay, thanks, Rosemary. Anything else? No, you're all set? Mm-hmm. I just have one item. I attended last week the Tilcon 100th anniversary celebration. Michael was there. There were some other folks from Plainville there. Tilcon and Tomaso actually began the business 100 years ago, and it is now known as Tilcon. They had a recognition of their employees, of their vendors, of folks they do business with. I was able to go on a tour of the site. I've never been up there, and it's a big excavation site that goes way, way up on the top of a mountain. And I've got a great explanation about how they mine the material. There's certain rocks that are used for certain processes. And then there's an asphalt plant, which they create the asphalt, and they're the largest supplier of asphalt in the state of Connecticut, probably the largest contractor that does do that. So it was a great celebration. Michael Tomaso was there along with his brother William, and we met the CEO, Carolina, and she was very gracious. They had food and music and all kinds of things, and it was an employee family event, so all their families were there. They did a wonderful job of recognizing the contribution that Tomaso and Tilcon has made to a number of communities, particularly in Plainville. They recently redid the building down at Paderewski Park. They've supported all kinds of charity events, and it was very nice to see that. There aren't too many businesses locally that have been operating for 100 consecutive years. They managed to get through the COVID issue, not without struggle, I'm sure, as many other businesses had to endure, but it was a wonderful event, and I was happy to be there, and I presented a proclamation to them on behalf of the town council, which they were very pleased to receive. So it was a very good event. All right, if there are no other announcements or reports, we'll go on to appointments and resignations. We have a police officer appointment on the top of our list. So what I'll do is I would like to ask our chief, Bengeli, to say a few words about our soon-to-be new police officer who we're going to appoint and send to the academy, right?
Sure. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure
you.
to stand before you again. I was here a couple of weeks ago for a promotion. But I have to say, having an appointment of a brand new officer is probably one of the favorite things that I have to do as a chief. Because I can just remember, like for myself, it seems like yesterday where I took that oath, started my career. And I think Greg's going to have a lot of success in this field. He comes to us, with very pure motivations and a spirit of service and wanting to serve the community. Gregory Marcotte grew up in Naugatuck, went to Naugatuck High School, currently enrolled in Western Governors University, is pursuing his bachelor's degree in business administration. Comes to us from a career as a sales manager in a communications company, which I think will also serve him well with his skill set. He was honorably discharged from the United States Army National Guard after serving 7 years. And again, I think his commitment to his country and helping out his fellow citizens is going to serve him well. He currently lives in Litchfield with his wife Barbara and their newborn Oliver, who's been very good this entire time, listening to people talk about the sewer system. And
That's fascinating
he's
stuff.
1 week old today.
Oh, wow.
So
my
Greg's
Congratulations.
got a very busy life. The good thing is the academy just changed to a commuter academy this week, so he gets to be home every single night. I'm not sure if he wants that, but I'm sure his wife does. So I respectfully request that the town council appoint Gregory Marquardt as our next police officer in Plainville. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chief. Okay. I will ask for a motion, please.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
motion to appoint Gregory Gibson Marquardt, did I pronounce it correctly? Okay, thank you, to the position of police officer effective October 3rd, 2023, and as a condition of continued employment, they must successfully complete all aspects of basic police officer training program at the Connecticut Police Academy and the Plainville Police Department Field Training Program.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Again, thank you very much for choosing Plainville. This is hard work and difficult work, but I think you're joining a superior organization, and these guys are going to treat you very well. So thank you so much for the work that you've chosen to do for us. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Are we going to do a swearing in at this moment? Okay, we're going to have you get sworn in with our town clerk.
Hold on. Andy's not here.
Oh, picture man.
Hope this works out.
And have you raise your right hand. Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm good.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, the laws and ordinances of the town of Plainville, and obey the rules, regulations, and orders of the police department, and that you will discharge the duties as police officer for the town of Plainville according to the best of your knowledge and ability? Congratulations.
His wife, Barbara, presented with his dad.
Yeah.
I'll take care of Oliver in the meantime.
Nice. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, and thanks again. Awesome. Okay, if you guys want to stay, you can, but we have other business to take care of, and you have a tiny little person there. So thank you again very much, and congratulations and very best of luck to you.
When I walk in.
Okay. Okay, moving on to our next item, please.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
motion to accept with regret the resignation of Matthew Weimer from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Can we send Matthew a letter of thanks for his service, please?
12 years.
You?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
motion to appoint Rizwan Mumtaz as a regular member of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, please.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion to appoint Jarrett Cavalier, 35 Hemingway Street, as a probationary firefighter to the Plainville Fire Department.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion to appoint Damon Ruiz, 49 Milton Road, Bristol, as a probationary firefighter to the Plainville Fire Department.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Last one?
Yep, motion to accept with regret the resignation of Brian Roper from the Plainville Fire Department.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that takes care of the posted items. Do we have any other appointments or reappointments tonight that we need to make that weren't on the agenda? Okay, moving along. Report of our town attorney. Attorney Mastriani, welcome.
Good evening.
Do you have anything for us?
I have nothing to report for tonight.
Okay, thank you for joining us. All right, Michael, we're into your section, report of the town manager.
Yes, thank you. Our first item is, item number 1 is Paderewski Park update, and I do want to just kind of carry on and piggyback off of your comments regarding Tilcon's 100th anniversary. We have a what I call a brick utility building at Paderewski Park next to the pavilion that's used for by the Recreation Department for summer camp. That has recently gone some repair and renovation upgrades, and it was all performed by Tilcon as part of a community project to coincide with their 100th anniversary celebration. And I did place pictures in the packet for you to see, but I think they did a wonderful job in sprucing up that building and giving it new life. And I know that I've spent time down there with Courtney, and so the rec department is very, very happy to have what really looks like a whole new space in terms of painting, flooring, bathrooms. It really needed a little facelift, and they got it. And so it looks like, and even from the outside, it looks great in terms of, because what they've done is upgraded and paved the aprons and around and connected back to the pavilion. So I think it really, from our standpoint, helped a lot with any potential tripping hazards or anything like that. Just mobility wise, it's just much better. So it's just a truly great to have a corporate partner like Tilcon doing things like this. It was very, very nice. So I just wanted to report on that. If you get a chance, the weather should be beautiful this week if you get down there and take a look at it. Or if you'd like, I can certainly get keys and get you in there and take. But I think the pictures do it justice.
Great.
And so I will also, related to Paderewski Park, let you know that I'll be attending, I think it will be the November Conservation Commission meeting to begin to collaborate on the conservation efforts in terms of balance of what we are hoping to implement in terms of recommendations. And so I'm looking forward to that conversation, but I think that'll be happening in November. Second item is Honor Heights project update. You know, I've been reporting on this. Lots going on. So there's installation of 50 linear feet of main line in the easement area near Robideau Road, and that work is scheduled to be performed this week, and hopefully they'll wrap up that. Obviously, we've had some delays and I want to say setbacks, just delays really because of all of the intense rain that's been periodically happening as this project unfolds. Installation of 4 service laterals, work scheduled to be performed this week as well. General project restoration, the work scheduled to be performed October 5th through October 13th, and that'll be, sidewalk, trench patch repair, lawn restoration, weather permitting. So that's what we refer to as project restoration. And that's as far as they go. I think we've mentioned that any type of road construction will happen next year and not in this cycle. Testing of the system, work scheduled for the week of October 16th through October 20th, with final inspection by the town water pollution control and roadways week of the 16th through the 20th. So again, hoping that everything stays on track, they'll be able to do their final inspection. And then it's a suggested schedule for all of the administrative things that the council will have to wrestle with respect to setting the assessment. October 16th is an opportunity, if you like, to set a special meeting date for November 27th, a work session to review the project and discuss items that need to be finalized in terms of not only the assessment but the dates in terms of the calendar and looking at conducting the public hearings, the final assessment, and so forth. I mean, we talked about the terms of any deferment or anything like that, anything we're going to do with respect to, once you set the assessment, what the rate. There's a lot of detail involved in all of that, and so this is just a suggested timeline. Nothing you need to take action on tonight, but maybe think ahead for October 16th and see if that makes sense to set a work schedule meeting for the 27th of November, just so that we stay on track with those dates. Also, a quick note on item 3 is bulk pickup. The fall bulk pickup began on Monday, September 11th, and will end on Monday, October 30th. Plainville has an on-demand policy for the collection of bulk pickup. Residents who currently have curbside waste and recycling collection are eligible to receive 1 bulk pickup per calendar year free of charge for acceptable large items that do not fit normal waste collection. So just an opportunity to plug that. There's still time left, and that'll end on Monday, October 30th. And also, item number 4 is also just another plug for the Pumpkin Festival, October 21st this year, 4 to 8 p.m. It's the 8th annual Plainville Pumpkin Fest, a downtown outdoor festival featuring live music, kids' costume, parade, kids' game, bounce house, large variety of food trucks, spooky haunted house, local vendors, downtown restaurants. All can be enjoyed at the festival. You can carve your own pumpkins and, of course, live entertainment, costume parade, and I think what was a big hit last year is coming back, the regional burn trailer in the Webster parking lot, conducted by the Fire Marshal Ron Divert, and this year's emphasis on education, of course, is close before you doze. So if you remember last year, it was about the advantage of sprinklered systems, and they timed the system, and it was a rather huge crowd for that event. And this year is all about close before you doze, and I'm not going to give it away, but I think you can probably figure that out. But that's a public safety demonstration and public safety campaign wrapped into one. And so I think it's a pretty big draw, and great that we can have some education there as well. Yeah, many other things there. So hope that people will put that on their calendar and join us for the 21st. And last before happenings, item 5 is just the fiscal year 23 audit governance communication. This is the annual audit letter from CLA, which is in your packet. This is the required communication, which is to inform the council that the audit process is underway. No action is necessary. It's just a routine communication, which we try to capture within the town council minutes. So that is in your packet as well. And with that, I am happy to turn happenings over to Cindy.
Yes.
Of course, I will certainly answer any questions that there may be for the first 5 items.
Filling in for Andy. I'll be filling in for Andy while he's at his lovely, where is he?
These are the conference.
Conference, that's right.
Professional development.
That's right. So I'm excited to be back in the saddle for happenings. Okay. Fire Marshal Ron Divert was happy to announce that his annual fire safety poster contest kicked off today, Monday, October 2nd.
Oh, great.
All 4th and 5th grade students in Plainville will have the month of October to create a fire safety poster for the latest calendar. Winners will be selected by a 3-panel person randomly chosen, and during the November or December council meeting, I'm pretty sure that the presentations will be done at one of the council meetings. Next, the town clerk's office would like to remind everyone, absentee ballots will be mailed out on Friday, October 6th. Any resident in need of voting by absentee ballot can contact the town clerk's office at 860-793-0221, extension 8751, or go to the town website for additional information at www.plainvillect.com. The Chamber of Commerce is hosting their annual dinner and silent auction on Thursday, October 26th at 5:30 p.m. Anyone in need of additional information can go to their website at www.centralctchambers.org. And now for Senior Center. The Senior Center is hosting the goat party for their members. Wednesday, October 4th from 2 to 3 at the Norton Park Pavilion. They'll be petting, feeding, and snuggling with goats, possibly in Halloween costumes, which I think is great, from the Got Your Goat located at Washington Depot. Next is the Caregivers Toolbox. It's a dinner education for caregivers of elders, a weekly series on Wednesdays, October 4th, 11th, and the 18th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. This series will provide caregivers with the tools they might need to allow their loved ones to remain safe and live at home for as long as possible while reducing caregiver burnout. A light dinner will be served. Caregiver Connections, Tuesday, October 10th at 10 a.m. Connect with other caregivers at the Senior Center to support one another on your journey and recognize the challenges and frustrations you may incur. Visit with Victoria, Wednesday, October 11th at 2:30 to 3:30. Meet the Senior Center's new Assistant Director, Victoria Nadolski. Help for Veterans, Tuesday, October 17th at 10 a.m. by appointment only. Contact Jason Coppola, Veterans Service Officer, at 203-805-6340 to find out your current status, needs, or any paperwork required to prepare for a face-to-face appointment at the Senior Center. Fall Prevention Class, Tuesday, October 17th, 11 a.m. to 11:30. Nancy Pandolfo from a Silver Sneakers instructor will host a complimentary class on balance and tips on how to prevent a fall. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you for that.
Good job.
Very nice. Does anybody have any questions or comments for either Michael or Cindy with their report tonight? Everybody's good? Okay. Thank you both. All right, moving on to our public comment section. During this portion of our meeting, we welcome the public to come to the podium. Please state your name and address. You will be given 3 minutes to speak to the council. Does anybody wish to speak? John?
John Kislick, 65 Forestville Avenue. I guess I am the public tonight. Even
You're
the
it.
comedy club didn't show up tonight, which I'm really surprised. It was been said this is the best show in town, and I think she contributes. Anyway, I made a statement last meeting about you don't lose employees, but I talked to some people, and it seems to me you are losing employees on the lower pay scale, but you can't really blame them. If you want to keep employees, you have to compensate them so they'll stay. And the way I looked at it, with them having 4 days, all that would do was give them a Friday and maybe a Saturday to get a part-time job to make up for it. But that's my feeling on that. If you want people to stay, you have to compensate them. Now, the other thing I have is concerning that balloon festival. I have a Freedom of Information request. I assume that the town kept track of all hours for every department spent on running this or being involved in it. And it seems the town is sanctioning it, and it's like we're going to be covering some of it. So what I have is total of all hours and costs incurred by the town of Plainville buildings and grounds. Same thing for roadways. Same thing for the police department, including planning and prep. And all hours incurred by town administration officials in planning and prep of the festival. I got it written out, but I don't have time to read it all. I'll be kicked off. The town has the town been reimbursed by the fire company for these costs? If not, will the town be reimbursed in full for all these costs with the town's involvement in the festival? I'm using a rough estimate, and by what happened previous years, I'm looking at like probably about $20,000 from start to finish, with everybody planning this thing and all the overtime hours, putting out signs, picking up signs, the whole 9 yards. So I would like that information for the total cost of the town and if we're being reimbursed. And the last thing I have is I've been asked, a couple people asked me to say, what has happened to Whiting Street repair job? I mean, it was supposed to be started and done by now, and some people won't even drive on that road anymore because of the condition. It's
Right.
really bad. So I just wanted to
I'll ask Michael. Michael, do we have a, that was a state job that was going to be done, paving Whiting Street, and it was supposed to have been last year, then it was moved to this year, and now it hasn't happened yet. I don't know.
No, it's moving along, but it won't happen until 2024
Okay.
next year. Yeah. So I do have an update from the town engineer, John Bossy. I can circulate that to the council. I'll be meeting with him again tomorrow. We can go review it and update that and get that out, but also probably post to the website and/or post to some social media sites and
Okay.
get the word out on that. It's a great question in terms of, there's been some other inquiries as to what is happening with that. So we'll have a response. We can get that out.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure the public will be glad to hear that.
Absolutely, yeah.
We hope it'll happen then. Thank you. Does anybody else wish to speak to the council? There is nobody else here, so I'm going to close the public comment section. We do not have any old business. On to new business. May I have a motion, please, for item number 1?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion for the Town Council acting as Water Pollution Control Authority to approve a 2% increase to the sewer user rate for the period November 1st, 2023 to October 31st, 2024.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? I just want to say that when we were setting the agenda, I talked to Michael and I talked to Rob Buden about this increase. And, I am fully aware of the pressure that people are under right now economically with food, with housing, with energy costs. I do, and we have no control over that. But I think that 2%, if it's going to help us keep that department, which is an extraordinarily important piece of our municipal operation, running appropriately, then I feel compelled to go through with this. But I really was hoping we didn't have to do this, particularly at this time of year, and particularly with the economic condition that everybody's suffering through. So just needed to say that. There are no other comments. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, please.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Mr. Underwood.
motion to approve and authorize Town Council Chairwoman Puglisi to execute the First Amendment to the employment agreement of Michael T. Paulus dated August 15th, 2022.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
motion to approve the tax refunds as listed on the addendum.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Michael, do you have any other discussions of interest?
I think just but one, and that would be the announcement that the health district is changing its name.
Right.
And so I hope you all got that information, and effective October 1st, to now being called the South Central Health District, which is Plainville, Southington, Middlefield, and you never know, could be discussions and talks with other towns either in the very near future or future. I can't really say.
Okay.
But we're always, being approached, so yeah, I think the name change was appropriate to that way. Growth is taken into consideration with a South Central Health District. So anyway, just wanted to pass that along.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything else? I would like to take a moment to congratulate Councilman Rocco on his pending wedding. It's going to be this weekend. Congratulations to you and your fiancée. I wish you
Thank
many,
you.
many years of happiness and health.
Thank you.
And I hope it rains, because that's good luck.
Good luck, Jacob.
Thank you.
Think of us when you're on the beach in Aruba.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys will be at the forefront of my
How
mind.
horrible is that?
I'm
There's a
sure
mental picture you'll never get rid of.
We'll be thinking of you. All right. If there are no other items for that portion, I will close it. We do not have an executive session. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you all very much.